viewers out there, like we say here in Nigeria, thank God it's Friday. You're welcome to the Friday edition of Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu Usman is right here in the studio with me. Salifu, welcome to this weekend edition of the program.
Thank you, Alpha. It's always my pleasure.
Right, on today's edition of the program, we begin straight from the camp of the Super Eagles, where former Nigerian winger Garba Lawal has urged the Super Eagles manager, Jose Peseiro, to make use of all his best players within his reach in a bid to qualify for the Nations Cup. Recall that Super Eagles are currently on top of Group A with 6 points from 2 games, scoring 11 goals and just conceding 1. Victory against Guinea-Bissau in a double-header clash will automatically seal qualification to the tournament slated for Ivory Coast. However, former Super Eagles midfielder said that Peseiro, that the coach should ensure that he uses all players he has at his disposal. He said there's no doubt that the current Super Eagles coach is doing everything possible that the team qualify for the 2023 African Cup of Nations. However, the coach should ensure he utilizes his best players both in the MPFL and all the foreign-based players for the upcoming AFCON qualifiers against Guinea-Bissau. I mean, he couldn't have said it any better. Yeah, I mean, nothing short of that should be expected of Peseiro when you're trying to qualify for such an important tournament. It's always expected that you use all of your best players at your disposal, except if maybe due to some other factors, maybe administrative factors. Severally in Nigeria, we've always had of situations where the powers that be sometimes recommend some certain players who might not even be up to the quality of playing for the Eagles to coaches to have a slot in the national team.
Yeah, we're coming from that, but to me, I felt Garba Lawal have not said anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like telling a man who is going for a fashion part that you shouldn't go with your best one.
Yeah, go with your best, yes.
You don't even need to tell him because you know that if you are going for a fashion, you need to go with your best outing. And definitely, Peseiro have no any other options. This is a competitive match. AFCON qualifier for that matter.
Yeah.
He has no option. He has no any excuse to rest the best player. And even notwithstanding where we are talking the group with 6 points. But the next 2 matches, the double headers against Guinea is very crucial. If you look at that group, Guinea is the most top qualities in the opponents in that group. So he has no any other option than to focus on the best player, except just like you see, maybe probably the best player were not available through injuries or through any otherwise, or administrative, that like you see, sometimes the external factors where other people just like Ladabos will say that it's other pressure from agencies and from other officials to buy certain players. If not, Peseiro is particularly at the critical time when Nigerians are even doubting about his credibility, doubting about his tactical ability. He has no option to use the best players, and I believe this is an advice, and I hope you heed to the advice.
Yeah, I mean, well, for the AFCON, I thought the other time there were rumors of it maybe being shifted. The AFCON still holds this year. Has it been confirmed by CAF? Because at the point, it was like they're supposed to shift it to 2024.
Yeah, that is it. AFCON is not going to hold this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you have shifted. It's supposed to be held early this
year. No, it was slated for, I think, June, July this year. Right? Yeah. Because the qualifiers are still on. So I think it was shifted initially to July, but later I think it was moved to 2024.
2024, absolutely. And I think that's the situation that we go to next year, and we hope that everything being equal, the Qualifiers will be able to put their facilities in order before then, and then go ahead with the competition.
Yeah. Anyway, before we go to the MPFL, yesterday there was a story we didn't give you that's talking about the CHAN where Morocco has pulled out. We had talked about that severally due to the issue they're having with Algeria, and this had to do with some issues resolving around flight, how they are going to move. I thought this was going to be resolved, but somehow Morocco has carried out their threat, and finally they pulled out of the CHAN.
Yeah, I think 4 hours to the competition will officially kick off today. If you recall, it will kick off today. But Morocco yesterday officially pulled out of the competition due to diplomatic row between the two countries. Morocco wanted to have a direct flight into the Algerians and play the match and then fly back to Morocco, but the Algerians are not comfortable with that arrangement. And then officially closed their airspace against the Moroccan airline, and that forced the Morocco then to officially the defending champions to pull out of the competition. But we thought that CAF would be able to resolve these issues, but it's like the diplomatical row between the two countries beyond CAF.
Very well. All right, we'll take a look at the NPFL. The NPFL resumed last week, although just one match went down last weekend between Aqua United and New Boys Bender Insurance. But almost all teams, if not all of the teams, will be in action this weekend. So if we have those fixtures, can we quickly look at them? So we do. Okay, we'll come back to that later. But on to some table tennis now, where Aruna Quadri has continued his impressive performance in the ongoing World Table Tennis Contender Competition in Durban, South Africa, as he is now in the quarter-final. He defeated Chinese star Sun Wen earlier in the early hours of today in the round of 32 to set up a clash against France's young star Felix Lebrun. The 16-year-old French international pushed Nigerian to the limit before he finally succumbed 3-2 at the end. He won the first set 11-3 before Aruna came back to clinch the second set 11-6. So congrats to Aruna. Like we've always said, when it comes to this tournament, he has always done very well. But most times when it matters most, somehow he doesn't meet up with the standards that, exactly with the expectations most Nigerians usually have for him.
Especially when he's flying representing the country.
Exactly.
Well, either he's playing for a club level anytime, but we still have he's always we always see him as Nigeria's ambassador.
Very well.
Because the name Nigeria is always attached to his name, and whatever he does, the credits or otherwise always has to do with Nigeria.
Yeah.
So we congratulate him that he has come far in these competitions, and we wish him that he progressed to the next round of the competition, which is a semi-final, where he going to the quarter-final, and urge him to go ahead and ultimately pick the title.
Exactly.
That's all we can wish him.
Yeah. Right to the Syria now, where tonight Osimhen will be targeting his 35th goal for Napoli, as Napoli will host Juventus tonight in a Syria clash. Osimhen has been in blistering form for Napoli this season, scoring 10 goals in 13 league appearances so far. The Nigerian netted his 34th goal for Napoli in the 2-0 win against Sampdoria last weekend. Last season, Osimhen scored 14 goals in 27 league appearances for Napoli, and currently Napoli top the standings with 44 points from 17 matches, while Juventus occupies second positions, 7 points adrift of the leaders from the same number of matches. Well, for Osimhen, what more can you say about him? Last season, like we said earlier, scored 14 league goals, and currently he has scored 10 goals, and the season is just approaching the halfway line.
Yes, that's an improved performance, if you ask me, compared to what he did last year. Last year, not thanks to injuries that weigh him down.
Yeah.
And we pray that for this year he stay injury free and continue to breathing from all fire, or breathing from all angles, and then continue to improve on his performance.
Yeah.
And talking about today's game is going to be a very crucial time for this. Look like a top of table clash.
Yeah.
No doubt that Napoli's have extended their lead.
The league has 7 points.
Gap between them and Juventus. But Juventus will definitely want to close that gap by cutting it to 4 points if they are able to win. And for me, it's going to be a very tactic clash for the two sides, because Napoli also want to win that match to extend their lead further.
Yeah.
If they're able to win, that will give them a 10-point gap, and ultimately they can see the to some extent we are literally safe.
Yeah.
Safe. But Napoli Juventus will not want any further extension of their lead on the table. We want to cut them down to the 4 points. So definitely it's going to be an interesting clash for football fans and for bookmakers and for everybody to watch out to, because it's going to be an interesting time, and we can only wish Osimhen to come to the party and shows.
All right, we'll go on a quick break, but we'll come back. When we come back, we'll give you league fixtures for the NPFL. We'll come back from the break. Stay with us.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still Sports Orbit now to the NPFL. Like we said earlier, there'll be plenty of matches to look forward to this weekend, tomorrow, and on Sunday in the NPFL. And first off, of course, we'll first of all look at Sunshine Stars. Of course, first match should have been Niger Tornadoes versus Doma United. Doma United also gained promotion from the second tier league. They'll be up against Niger Tornadoes, while Sunshine Stars will host champions Rivers United. For El Kanemi Warriors, also making a return to the MPFL, they'll be at home to National United, as Bendel Insurance already showing that they are back to the MPFL and they mean business. They will be up against Plateau United. Quara United will travel to face Shooting Stars. They're out there, and while Remo Stars will be up against Gombe United. For Lobby Stars, they will be at home to Enugu Rangers, while Dakada FC welcome Wiki Tories. For Eyimba of Abado welcome Aqua United, while Abia Warriors will be at home to Bayelsa United. So many matches to look forward to. Well, the likes of El Kanemi Warriors making a return to the league. Doma United also back to the league. So for Nasra now has two teams in the NPFL with Doma United and Nasra United.
Doma United is privately owned by owned?
Yeah, I think it's privately owned.
Well, interesting pairing for me. If you ask me where I would like to spend my weekend, I would like to be at the Shooting Stars when the Quara United will pay a visit to that stadium. That would be an interesting prize. The Quara United will just make a short trip from the lobby to Shooting Star and then to Ibadan. And if you know, Quara United has also adopted Ibadan as their temporary home base. So definitely it will look like a neutral ground for the two sides. Exactly. And Shooting Star may not have much enjoyment of home opportunities when they hold the Shooting Star, and that will be an interesting prize for everybody to watch it out. Then Lobby Stars any goals, although it's just a short trip between the two states. So definitely, it's going to be an interesting tie for the two sides. Will be for fans within that lobby, within the Macaulay, Agis, and Enugu to Central for this weekend. Interesting pair there, and starting the league on a positive note will be the desire of the two teams. If you recall, Lobby Star have to struggle last season to escape the relegation. They take the intervention. The state government have to rejig the management of the team, bringing back Dominic Ayofas, who people feel is the master of all known, is a magician in the Nigerian league. You know how to press the button where they need to press the button. So, and he actually pressed the button where he needed to press the button, and they showed that Lobby Stars survive and take the league and survive. So his desire, you are saying that their desire this time around is not just to cement their position in the league, but their target is to get the continental ticket. And the best way to get that is to start well on the new season. So it will go it's going to be an interesting start. Any region last season were up there, but at the last minute,
Exactly.
they couldn't even make it to any level. So Abdul Mekaba's side, any management have given enough time. So I think I think for me, he may have his last opportunity to justify the confidence they have been given so far, because any who have to exercise a lot of patience with him. So he needs to show that yes, he is one of the best coaches we know in the local league, and by doing well this season, the best way to that is to start the league well. So it will go, the two sides will definitely want to get a result on a positive note. At the same time, if you look at Enyimba United,
so Finidi still in charge.
He's still in charge, and also
this will be second full season.
The coach of the Super Eagles, and then for Aqua United, who have tested the defeat at home,
Exactly.
New returnee better insurance. So no one to continue on a 2 straight defeat. So, but Aqua United also want to anybody want to also start on the positive.
Exactly.
So Aqua United has to be careful not to record a 2 consecutive defeat on the new season.
All right, does that. So we'll keep an eye on all of these matches, and we'll give you.
And for Gombe United, if you recall, Remo Star was firing from us leader last season, going almost 11 matches until they visited Gombe United. Gombe United was the one that called them to first,
and they are starting this season.
And after meeting Gombe United, their story was never the same.
Again.
So until the end, now they are starting the season at Gombe United. So it's going to be an Gombe United. Why Remo Star are busy, they have to be very careful. These are the people that teach us lesson last season, so not to repeat the same lesson this season. They have to be very careful.
All right, to some transfer news now. I'm talking about Murphy. We said a lot about him yesterday, and this time around, West Ham United are looking at the possibility of bringing him over to the English Premier League. The Hammers are struggling in front of goals this season, and they feel Murphy might just be the right man to solve their problems in front of goal. Well, if he makes this move, I think it will be a good one for him, for Nigerian players, even for we as fans of the Premier League. Most of us always want to see our players play in the Premier League. It gives them more exposure, so we are able to see them week in, week out. Exactly. And, for even the players themselves being in the Premier League, it's what most players always tell you that is where they desire to play.
The Premier League is like a World Cup.
Yeah.
The desire of every player is to play at the World Cup. So the Premier League has assumed that status when every player wants to play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So even though you are playing PSG, you still want to come and play in the Premier League.
Taste of the league.
The taste of the Premier League. This is the competitive natures of the land. Some people are even hoping that before Messi retire, he should come to the Premier League and test that he has what it takes to withstand the competitive natures of the Premier League.
Yeah.
So and for West Ham, just like we say, they have been struggling on the front of boots, and I strongly believe that Murphy will provide that answer to that problem. If they eventually get him, he will automatically solve that problem. And for Nigerian fans and for every fans of the Murphy, we definitely want to desire to see him play in the Premier League, and that will give all a full access to assess him, watching him week in, week out, and week out. And at the same time, sometimes some of the questions about him, whether he's deserved to be a right number 9 in the Super Eagles, and will automatically solve the problem.
Exactly. All right, to some other news where it's being reported that Al Hilal, that's the Saudi Arabian club, might want to reignite that rivalry between Ronaldo and Messi, as they are looking to, offer Messi about $300 million in excess of, to sign a contract to bring him to Saudi Arabia. Although for now it's still under speculation, but they feel this might do well for the league. This will reignite once again, his rival already in Saudi Arabia. So they feel if they could pull this off, this will give some sort of prestige to the Saudi Arabian league.
Yeah, like I say when I was before the studio, I was saying that the movement of Cristiano Ronaldo to Saudi Arabia league will definitely improve on the league, and we are going to see a whole lot of star players moving toward the Saudi Arabia or Saudi league. And like now even the club, or other club in the Saudi league, feel they cannot attract a top player to the league, but now with Al Saud bringing Ronaldo, they feel that them can also attract another top player to the league. So we are going to see more likely on many stars moving to the Saudi Arabia league, and now they are making an attempt to bring Al Messi, but I think for now that would be like almost impossible for
yeah.
now because Messi still feel that he can play at a very
exactly.
top high level, and somebody who are able to know before the World Cup that this will be his last World Cup. But after he laid his hand on the trophy, he said, "No, I'm still have what to say, and I still want to stay on to
exactly.
And now the coach is even telling us that said Messi would likely still play at the Mexico, Canada, US 2026. So I don't see Messi want to move out now to Saudi Arabia
at all. Straight to the EPL. First of all, yesterday one match went down, the London Derby, where we spoke about that match here, Fulham, Chelsea. But once again, it wasn't happy moments for Chelsea as they fell 2-1 to Fulham at the Craven Cottage. Although Joao Felix not the way he wanted to start his EPL career because he actually picked up a red card in that one. But Chelsea, the problems continue with Potter because most people had thought that, well, haven't had a difficult period. That game against Fulham, they'll try to use it to bounce back, but it was not to be, as once again Fulham had the better of the Blues.
Yeah, yesterday I was saying, I said, I have to be very careful to give the match to Chelsea, but because Chelsea has proven to be a team that you cannot put your money on now. Because any attempt to put your money on Chelsea, that means you will be ready to lose that money. And I think the Potter's days is beginning to be
looking
like in numbers.
Yeah.
Because I can't say he going all the way to Fulham. That's why going almost 10 matches that we recorded a positive result, and then against a Fulham again, you suffer another defeat. And now even the player you brought in to help you solve the problem in the first match, get the red card. It's like the problem keep compounding. So I think the new manager of Chelsea, in their usual character, will definitely begin to have. I think by now they begin to have started chasing for another replacement for Potter, because we see that at the earlier of his career, earlier of his job.
Some of us clearly believe that he wasn't the man for the job.
Is not yet fit for the job, but he's trying to play a deceptive one where he was beginning to show some results. Maybe it will be the magic one, but now the theory color of the Potter has begun to show
completely. Anyway, straight to some EPL matches, interesting matches to look forward to this weekend. Of course, two big matches this weekend. There's the Manchester Derby, and of course, the North London Derby. Man United will be at home to City, while Arsenal will also welcome, Tottenham this time around at the Tottenham Stadium will also welcome Arsenal in that North London Derby. Other matches will be Brighton up against Liverpool, Everton will host Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Wolves, West Ham will be in that one. Brentford will be at home against Bournemouth. Chelsea will welcome another London Derby, Crystal Palace, while for Newcastle, they'll be at home to Fulham down. But straight off, two big matches, Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United, Man City. And these two matches, one way or the other, will have an effect on the top of the table.
Absolutely. Why, honestly, why the Arsenal fans will be hoping for Man U to get a result against a Manchester United. Well, whatever result that he won't come with, because Manchester United are already also approaching the top table.
Yeah,
because Manchester United can no longer be considered as outside title contenders, because they are already now among the top four, and even the gap between them and Arsenal is getting closer every day by day. So it's going to be a very interesting prize for the Manchester fans and everybody, even Pep Guardiola, having suffered unsurprised defeat in Southampton, he now has to be careful when he travel to Manchester United. And Manchester United definitely want to get a result against Manchester. So to me, it's going to be an interesting prize. Arsenal will be definitely pray for if the result that will favor them. And at the same time, to be the reverse on the other hand, when they come to the Sunday, on the London Derby, so the Man Cities and both the Manchester fans also want to see a result that will also favor them. Pray for Tottenham to get a result against Arsenal. But I have said several times that if Arsenal wanted to show that they are really a title contender, this is not the time we have approached the time when they need to now begin to show their true title credentials. And then against Tottenham has not been finding it easy this season. But when it comes to London Derby against Arsenal, it's always remember last season, Tottenham scored the show for Arsenal when they couldn't win very well, and among the top finish in the top four. So definitely Arsenal has to be very careful when they travel to Tottenham on Sunday.
Yeah. Right.
And for Chelsea, another London Derby
against Crystal Palace. Yeah.
So I think Potter needs to calm down.
He has his hands full.
He has to calm down, avoid any GT move so that he can play the match game and then get the result against Star Palace. But Patrick Vieira want to also see Copan may likely Copan his move.
Yeah. Right, the matches start today. Well, for 9 p.m. today, it will be Aston Villa against Leeds United, while 1:30 p.m. early kickoff, the United game versus Man City takes place. And we're here on Sports Orbit. We'll be watching all of these matches and giving you updates, most likely on Monday. Salifu, thank you for being on this weekend edition of the program.
Thank you.
Right, viewers, that's all we have for you on this edition of the program. We'll be back on Monday with another exciting edition of Sports Orbit. Do stay safe out there. Have a lovely weekend. My name is Afa Acho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.